Let's talk about Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands is a registered study by John Bollinger. This study consists of two lines that are plotted two standard deviations above and below a specified moving average. In this case, if you look at the price chart, 20 days moving average is shown in turquoise color. Two standard deviation above it is red color band, upper band, and two standard deviation below the moving average is purple color band, the lower band. The standard deviation will change as the volatility increase or decrease. There is a sharp change in prices after the bands tighten as volatility lessens. Usually, when the prices cross outside the bands, it shows a continuation of current trend. When bottoms and tops are made outside the bands and then followed by bottoms and tops inside the bands, it shows a reversal in the trend. Usually, a move that originates at one end of the band tends to go to the other band. A movement of bands from one band to another band can help us project the price targets. The upper band represents overbought condition and the lower band represents the oversold condition. Price bouncing off either bands is not necessarily a sign of reversal or a breakthrough. Hey friends, this is a 1-year daily chart of IJR in front of you. I have plotted CCI, Commodity Channel Index, right here on the bottom of price chart, which is right here. This indicator shows excess buying or selling pressure when it crosses above plus 100 or below minus 100. This indicator can also be used to show overbought and oversold levels. By default, CCI uses 14-period time frame. Short-term investors can reduce this number, and long-term investors can increase this number to suit their needs. So basically, there are three possible ways we can use this indicator. Number one is to look for divergences, which I'm showing right here with yellow lines. Number two, to look for extreme levels of overbought and oversold conditions when prices move above plus 100 or fall below minus 100, which is right here and right here. Above plus 100, below minus 100. And the third way is when there is no significant move in prices, CCI will fluctuate around zero line right here. It will just fluctuate around here. Alright friends, this right in front of you is 1-year daily chart of IJR. On the upper part, you will see the price chart, and on the bottom, this right here, I have plotted Chaikin money flow oscillator. Chaikin money flow oscillator is an indicator that measures buying and selling pressure over a fixed period of time. By default, the time period is set to 21 periods that can be adjusted to suit one's personal needs. A value of Chaikin money flow oscillator above 0 means that the market is bull, and a value below 0 means that the market is bearish. So all this region up here above 0 is showing us that the market is bullish, whereas over here, this period, this right here, in this period, and in this period, the market is bearish. Alright friends, this right in front of you is a 1-year daily chart of IJR. This is price chart, and the bottom right here I have directional movement system. This blue line is called plus DI. This yellow line is called minus DI. Right here, plus DI is crossing below minus DI, which is right here. This one is plus, crossing below minus DI. Right here, plus DI is crossing above minus DI. Over here, we have plus DI crossing minus DI. The directional movement system helps to determine if a stock is trending. The basic DI trading system compares plus DI, shown by a blue line, and minus DI, that is shown by yellow line on the bottom of the price chart. When plus DI crosses above the negative DI, look for the height of the price bar above the crossover. Right here, it is crossing above the negative DI. You need to look at the immediate above candle right here. If the price crosses above the high of the price bar, it confirms a buy signal. So what is it saying? You look for this crossover and look immediately above at this candle. And if the prices cross above the high of this candle, this is a buy signal right here. Similarly, over here, we have plus DI crossing above the negative DI. Look immediately above at this candle, and if the prices cross above the high of this candle, it is a buy signal. Similarly, when the plus DI crosses below the negative DI, which is right here, plus DI is crossing below the negative DI. Look for the low of the price bar. So look immediately above at this price bar and look for the low of it. If the prices break below the low of the price bar, below this bar, if the prices break below this bar, the low of the price, which is right here, low of the price, it confirms a sell signal. So the moment prices break below this, it becomes a sell signal. Thank you for watching. Alright folks, let's talk about Keltner Channels. This is a 1-year daily chart of IJR, and I have plotted Keltner Channels on the price chart right here. Keltner Channel is based on two bands that is drawn above and below a fixed moving average, which is usually 20 period moving average. This right here is 20 moving average, 20 period moving average. The distance between upper band and the lower band by default is usually 1.5 ATR, and I have changed it to 2 ATR. So the Keltner channels are based on volatility and are shown by lines drawn above and below a moving average. The distance between the line from the moving average equals 2 ATR right here. This distance is 2 ATR. From here to here is 2 ATR. Keltner channels are basically a trend following indicator. If the prices are closing above the upper channel, the trend is considered bullish. So right here, it's considered bullish. Right in this region, it's considered bullish. Right here, it's considered bullish. Right here, it's considered bullish. And if the prices are closing below the lower band, the trend is considered bearish. Channels lines can represent overbought and oversold regions. So maybe this region is right here, overbought, 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 overbought. Usually momentum indicators work very well with Keltner channels to confirm and show the strength of a trend. All right, friends, this in front of you is 1-year daily chart of IJR, and I have plotted linear regression trend line on the price chart, which is shown by this red line right here. Okay, the linear regression trend line study plots the trend line of price for the entire chart based on the linear regression analysis. The linear regression indicator shows where the prices should be on a statistical basis. This indicator is quite similar to moving averages. This indicator does not show much delay, and this indicator is more responsive to price action than moving averages. Basically, we can analyze over here that prices have gone quite far from the trend line, or from here, prices have gone quite far from the trend line.